Well, it's the second week of LCS Summer Split with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Dhokla for our very first interview ever. What does it mean for you to be here in this interview?
Well, literally, I always want to be interviewed by you because you're like the premier interviewer of esports. So it feels better than winning against EG to be having this interview.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured. I felt like you earned it after that game. No, let's talk about it. Okay, so I will caveat this by saying on Hotline League this week we had a caller that called in, was very excited about CLG, and I was like, I'm not excited about CLG. Yeah, they went 3-0, but I don't expect them to be like a top 5 team, blah, blah, blah. I now regret that statement. Where do you guys think you are in terms of sort of placing and strengths among the different teams, especially after this game against EG? You guys are now still tied for first after the second week.
Well, I think we had the head-to-head on them, so I think we are first, but...
Well, I think TL's also 4-1.
Oh, are they?
Yes, okay. Because they won today and they lost yesterday, yeah.
I mean, that's not important. I do think I don't know where we slot ourselves in because, I mean, we're kind of like throwing late game or like mid game a lot, especially this weekend, so... I still think we're like top 5, but I'm not sure exactly where I would place ourselves in. Maybe top 3. I mean, that's my goal for the end of the split, to try and make Worlds. Yeah. And I think we're somewhere in top 5. I mean, losing a FlyQuest, maybe we're 10th, but I don't know. Yeah. Somewhere in top 5, I think.
What has the experience been like? Remind me, how long have you been playing League of Legends competitively?
Ooh, I think I started in 2017 in Oceania, okay. And then I came to NA when franchising happened, Optic, and then that stint in Optic, went to TSM Academy. From there, went to Amateur. Yeah. So that was like, we're down bad. Right. And then now I got into Team Liquid, which that was like amazing for me. So I really shout out to Team Liquid, they're awesome. And then I got an opportunity at CLG as well, so I made the most of it. And then, here on LCS, so I think that's like, 5 years maybe, or just about?
Yes. Yeah, 5 years, 2017, 2022. Yeah. There's been, I think, a contingent of people, especially when you ended up on CLG, that were like, oh, he's just another one of these guys that's been around an amateur and academy for so long, and like, does he actually deserve the spot? Did you see much of that? Did you feel like that was a thing? Because I think North American fans are sometimes tired of seeing names that they've seen before pop back into the LCS.
Right. I mean, I don't agree with that sentiment because it really depends on like where your motivation is, especially. And I think it's pretty, like, if someone's motivated, then I think they can do whatever they want, like regardless of age. And I don't think esports is really different in that regard. I think it's probably easier because it's the only limitation is like there's no really like it's not. What was I gonna say? It's not like taxing on your body to play a game. So I think it's just where your motivation is, and you can play as long as you want if you're just really passionate about the game.
Well, so you've made it back. What has this journey been like for you? You mentioned even going down to amateur at a certain point in time. So what has it been like for you to climb your way back into the LCS?
Yeah, I mean, we were down bad, like down horrendous. So then, like, I really reflected on my time. Like, I feel like I was definitely grinding a lot of games. I think I have been like throughout my whole career, but it's just maybe it's like I need to optimize how I'm like learning from these games. So I think being an amateur and being on Team Liquid, I think that offseason after Team Liquid, I really just reflected on just what I was doing, really, like what I wanted to do, where I see myself in like next to like 3 years or so, and just like a wake-up call kind of, and then focused up, and we got to LCS, so it was pretty good.
Was there a moment ever where you worried that it was just like done, that you were never really going to make it back, that you're never going to have these big moments on stage like this last one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I went to amateur and then we didn't make the PG because of the fiasco in amateur, don't call the name to it, but sure. After that it was like, am I really going to have to like go through this again? Because at the time I felt like I was definitely better than almost every top in academy, so it's like I'm an amateur, I see people in academy, and then it's like the age stigma around me, just everything like that. So it was really demoralizing for sure. But like I just knew I was better than a lot of these players that have that are just on these teams. So I guess that was like the main motivation. Is like let me just give it my 100%, show what I got, and then just see where it goes.
When you look at CLG compared to the rest of the teams in the league, it's hard. Because I think a lot of people have ideas and opinions on like who the top 3, top 4, top 5 teams are, and it's becoming more difficult because there's a lot of different teams that are making the case for it. Like, I think with TSM's win over TL yesterday, people are like, oh, maybe TSM's up there. You guys are tied for first place, maybe in sole possession, depending on how you want to say. But who else do you think is actually up there with you?
I think it's only Team Liquid and EG. I think the community perception around like players and how good they are just wrong. Like, I play against them every time in Champions Q. I know like who's good and who's not, and just believe me when I say EG and TL are 1 and 2.
Okay, they're 1 and 2. You just beat EG, so does that not put you up in 1 and 2?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think they just have a better track record. Obviously, they won spring, so you still have to pay them respects. You know, they are the defending champs, but yeah.
Is there anything you want to say to any of the fans out there?
It's been a long journey for me, especially making it back to LCS and being successful. So, shout out to myself, honestly, for not giving up. Number one. Shout out to everyone supporting me, and I hope we have a good split.
Very good. Thank you so much, Dhokla, for the interview. Congratulations on the big win today. That crazy EG match came down to the wire there for you guys, but you got the win. For everyone else, thank you so much for watching this interview. You can stay tuned for the rest of my LCS coverage right here on my YouTube channel.
Make sure to subscribe.
Alienware. Have you ever heard me say that before? You probably have. In fact, I almost certainly said it at the beginning of this video, but what does it really mean? When I think of Alienware, I think of amazing products, amazing hardware, amazing things, but also a brand that allows me to cover League of Legends competitive esports without getting fired by a media company every 5 minutes, which is what my life would be like without them. So thank you so much to Alienware for supporting me and making sure that I'm not in a constant loop of getting fired.